than a mid and a different carry?
Maybe, depending on matchup, but I don't think that's a very good idea. I think Nana is not so suited for Veno. I think Veno should be either Ice or, like personally, I think Ice and Mushi is more suited to play the hero. I saw Nana play Veno once, like in an official, it wasn't that great.
5 seconds remaining.
I don't think it suits his character that much. You know? You want him to be playing Ember, Puck, Tinker.
Stormbound out.
What about the idea of something like a PL mid? Like you get a very aggressive
PL's
like
not
Night
bad.
Stalker
Yeah,
PL.
yeah,
Like,
PL's not bad.
Pugna's very squishy. Have a lot
PL's
of good
not bad.
nukes.
It's you want like someone that can jump the back line, like kill the
10
Pugna.
seconds
Close
Good
to
against lifesteal, and that's kind of the one here that stands out to me. They don't have
5
great
seconds
illusion clear on the
But I'm not
liquid
sure if he
side.
plays the hero. Actually, not sure if he plays the hero.
It is an SEA classic for the mid lane. It's kind of where that mid PL
The
began.
Pinoy
but
mid players.
yeah, the Pinoys,
Yeah,
but not so
Nana.
much Nana.
I'm probably gonna pick like some Ember. I don't know. Like maybe they're gonna just give him Ember, like something he's really comfortable with. Or Puck's still in the pool, right?
Team Liquid's
I don't want
turn
it.
to pick Miranda.
Mirana. Dude, that's...
Oh yeah, because they have Bane. They ran this. This is actually really good. Clockwork and Bane both have really good setup for the arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a mid Mirana. Gonna be really easy to gank as well. NS comes in, Void, Arrow, easy setup,
10
Bane.
seconds remaining.
Maybe they might even do Bane plus Mirana. I think Secret did it in one of their
5
games. They had
seconds
Bane,
remaining.
Mirana mid, and the other support just to, like the NS can maybe pull safe lane first and then roam later.
Do you feel like they have enough team fight though?
Not much team fight though. Like Veno is like their primary team fight. But they have really solid lanes. Like all their lanes are really good. So that I think is enough to make up for it.
Okay.
See what Liquid get to deal with that Bay Mirana. Wonder what heroes they have in mind. Tanky for the mid lane, something that can deal with the arrow, like a I don't know, the lone druid type hero.
The Lone Druid actually would be good against that though, because
It's more like who's Miracle playing at that point. Ember.
It is
Now
still an Ember.
select your
It's time for
heroes.
Liquid though.
Pretty
still
good.
good synergy with their heroes though. That's the
Yeah.
thing. It's like he's really good at like going behind, going past the front lines and killing the Bane. Like we talk about how important it is for them to make sure the Bane doesn't get a full grip on the Lifestealer.
It's an offlane
It's an
Jakiro,
offline
by the way.
Jakiro,
Yeah.
indeed.
Jakiro is playing the support Pugna again.
So I'm listening to you guys talk, but you're saying good things for both squads, but you're not really super leaning towards one side, or am I misreading that?
I think it's quite like one of the most even drafts I've seen here. I think both teams have their like win condition and they both have their own power timings with their lineup. Laning wise, I wouldn't say anyone has like a a strong advantage over the other. You know, like both teams have like pretty solid lanes. They have what Jakiro, a Shaker, Pugna, Lifestealer, safe lane, and a mid Ember against a Mirana. Like
Mineski will be the aggressors though. They've got the Night Stalker Clockwork. They've got the Bay Mirana combo. If a team's going to win the lane stage, for me, it's definitely Mineski. Or if they lose the lane stage, it's because they played it poorly.
Well, so it's going to be a fight-heavy game.
Yeah, I think
Hopefully
so.
for
I think
Mineski
that's what
anyway.
Mineski wants.
Yeah.
They want to fight a lot early. They want to find lots of kills, pickoffs, and try kind of have that strong dominant laning stage.
Well, I think the viewers would like a fight-heavy game as well, because that is always fun to watch. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a grand finals time, and for that, I will send you over to our commentators, Capitalist and Blitz.
Just 2 months after achieving his lifelong dream, Kuroki has now led his team Liquid into another grand finals. This one, the first minor of the Dota 2 season. But on the other side, you have Mushi, the captain of Mineski, a veteran in his own rights, who is completely absent from the previous TI, unable to qualify, and whose last grand finals appearance was over 2 years ago. Blitz, this seems like a straight-up story of either continued domination, a start of an era for Liquid, or it's a chance at redemption and rejuvenation of a career on top for Mushi.
Yeah, exactly. And this is such a huge matchup because Mineski, going through the loser bracket, you simply just play more games. You learn a little bit more about yourself, more about the other teams. You get to study every single meta, and I think that's going to benefit them greatly as four-man smoke here, but Miracle going to break it actually, and unsuccessful start. Team Liquid already spamming, well played.
It seems like our fans are going to have to hold off on that early action for just another minute, because we're not going to be having any kills before the horn blows.
2 years though?
2 years. And
Since
that
his
was
last
as a
grand finals.
stand-in for LV Gaming. It wasn't even with his own team.
It's been a while.
In fact, the last time that he was actually winning a grand finals, there was a WSG or something he got second at. But that was back in DK Gaming, where they won here at StarLadder.
Yes, and
And
Liquid,
that was
of
the
course,
last time Mushi was like on top of his career, right?
But Liquid, of course, they're the defending champions of StarLadder, I believe.
Yes.
Also the defending champions of the universe as they won TI. And here's
Truly
a good
the
chance
number
for them to
one.
dethrone him.
Mineski are going to have that early fight, it seems like, as they go for the aggressive bounding rune steal, but unable to grab it. Matumba Man has the quicker fingers here, but we're not going to be having a first blood, it seems, as both teams will part their ways after a small bit of harassment. So an aggro tri-lane with Nana on the Mirana and a Clockwork Bane for the setup against a Lifestealer. Is this actually a tri-lane that you can win as Mineski?
I think it is. It's very strong. The downside, of course, is that if you mistime things, Matumba Man can always just rage out. And the upside here, too, is that Ember versus Veno is not as Veno-sided as you might think, especially with the help of this Earthshaker. Early on, he's just going to get denied, pull the wave back like this, and GH already making his way up at top, where Pugna is going to have a very nice matchup against this Night Stalker.
Do you think that is part of the reason they're running this aggro tri-lane, is they want to help keep the supports locked down somewhere so they can't interfere with that strong 1v1 mid matchup?
I think the way to beat Liquid is to try to disrupt their lanes as much as possible and hope that they don't get to pick all their teamfight heroes. But as we say that in mid, a bit of an engagement as the Clockwork comes in. I do feel like Mineski, though, does match up pretty well against them. They were the closest to taking them down throughout this tournament in that game 1 with a very strong laning phase. Of course, Liquid, you can't really sleep on them ever.
Yeah, he's just taking it to Miracle right now. Already down, has no tango for another 40 seconds, so he's having to ferry out a salve right now, but they are going to go for the kill on the Courier. Jabs unable to make it in time, though, so a successful delivery with no rebuttal. So we're just going to have a Bane Mirana here at this bottom lane, as you can see, with Matumba Man on that Lifestealer backed up by Jakiro, and looks like GH on the Earthshaker is already roaming up to that top lane, as you pointed out, trying to upset the balance a little bit of this current laning phase. A Night Stalker versus a Pugna at top.
Yeah, and Liquid just prioritizing this Pugna very heavily, as well as this Earthshaker. Curious to me that they were willing to give up the Venomancer in exchange for this hero. Just how it just shows how highly they value this hero, especially played by GH. It can also be played by Miracle or Mind Control. We've seen it in pretty much every role for Liquid.
Yeah. Pugna to crepify into a deny on the range creep, always a win. They seem to be prioritizing. Winner was actually thinking that maybe they would put the Clockwork as the core, simply because he felt like it was such a good Clockwork game that they would prioritize that. Instead, we're going to have Ice Ice's Night Stalker, which we saw obviously in the previous series. Do you think that's a worthy Night Stalker being able to get a solo 1v1 in his safe lane? Is that hero actually worth that kind of, I don't know, I guess opportunity?
Yeah, I think it's even more important actually for the Night Stalker to get very good levels this game, because it's really hard for them to start the fights. And Clockwork, yeah, you can hook in and do all that stuff, but for the most part, they'll get 4 staffs, they'll be able to get away from that. And so you need to set a very good early game pace. And your Clockwork eventually will switch off with the Night Stalker anyways. If Mineski plays this as planned, then I'd imagine that Ice, similar to the game against Complexity, tries to get as aggressive as possible once he just has that baseline of items, and he'll allow this hero to get his levels anyways.
Now, is that during the first nighttime, or are we talking about like more second nighttime where he has phase boots and such?
First nighttime, if you don't get a kill, it's not the worst thing in the world. Second nighttime is most likely the one that's going to be the most important, because that's your tempo controller. That's the one where you really start to take some towers out with it too, once you get a kill or so.
That's how you begin snowballing, right? It starts with the laning phase, but then you really have to follow up with that tempo controller dominating the game. A setup here, sleep into an arrow, onto the Jakiro, and not a whole lot of help is going to be coming from this Matumba Man Lifestealer. So a free pick-off, free first blood for Moon.
Very easy setup for them, and Kuro not going to have the best time of it as a 5 Jakiro. Not a lot of defensive capabilities, and it's not like Matumba Man can swing over and help him anyways. He's got to focus on the creep wave under him.
Pugna now has a soul ring. Does he start winning this lane once he gets like level 4, level 5 and can spam out so much, or is it still Night Stalker favored, especially now that it's night?
I thought it was actually pretty 50-50, but if you'd imagine that Pugna wins most matchups with his ability to spam, but it's Ice.
Nice snatch up there, mind control, and Pugna's so fast, but apparently not fast enough to get ahead of Jabs. That being said, Jabs doesn't want to be running into Miracle. Too many creeps in the mid lane for Mushi to push out as that Venomancer.
Yeah. And if you look at Night Stalker's build, he came to the lane with the Stout Shield and the 2 Enchanted Mangoes. NS with 5 HP regen a second. Doesn't care too much about this as a bottom. Ninja
In
Boogie going to be the
trouble.
target.
Ninja Boogie has to do something here. He's going to try and sleep himself. Actually doesn't get hit by the enchant.
They might not get
toes.
this kill.
And yeah, they're not going to be able to do it. Bane's just simply too tanky. Seems like such a battle-ready hero. Jesus, Jabs won't let Miracle well enough alone, man.
He is actually chasing him so far in.
Looks like he wanted to try and get the kill before the 5-minute shrine rotation, but a bottle fill-up allows Miracle to be pretty healthy, and it looks like he's just going to be clearing through the stack, trying to get his level 6 off of that, rather than focusing on laning.
Yeah, and it doesn't really feel like they're prioritizing this laning too hard anyways, as Jab's going to come in. He's got the cogs. He traps both of them.
Oh no,
Neither
they're
of them
both
going to get the
stuck
shrine.
Jabs eats his way out of the cogs, battles out a little bit more with the battery sultans, not doing a whole lot of damage with the help of Mushi. Oh, what a deny from GH with the enchant
get one
totem.
more?
Actually, play Matamba Man. He tries to go for that one too, unable to do so. So at least Mineski do manage to score one of those kills. Great rotation from Jabs, really making the but what was that about? The fact that Matamba Man made that rotation as well, all the way over to help clear through that
Oh, at
neutral.
bottom, Kuro
Oh, no.
gets arrowed up. A few more right clicks will do it. One more should complete the job as they get the kill. No follow-up kill from Matamba Man, just a level 4 lifestealer. And I think they were trying to be a little bit greedy. He wanted to shrine as well.
Yeah.
They just wanted to do a triple shrine, but they saw the creeps. They're like, maybe if we farm these first.
Yeah,
but Jabs,
let's use our abilities first, lose a little HP and mana, and make that shrine all the
Yeah.
more efficient.
It's
right?
a little bit too much min-maxing.
Yeah.
From Team Liquid, as they're going to pay for it dearly. Even with the deny, that's going to be quite annoying for them. As laning phase-wise, this is what we talked about. This is where Mineski is going to be strong. Liquid not seeming to prioritize him.
Looks like a sandwich up at top lane. Trying to catch mind control here, but GH is able to run some interference here. Nice ice out of mana. Isn't going to be able to pursue underneath the tower.
He is still doing very well up at top. He's level 6. This mind control Pugna still only level 4. Hasn't even picked up his level 5 yet. 6 minutes into the game.
Not picking up darkness at all, just going for the 3-0-3 build here for just the extra presence in lane during this critical period of time. And you can see it paying off. Mind control, not level 5 yet. Ooh.
He
Rough
moves
game.
really quickly. 523 move speed when he has phase on, 441 base without it, and he's one of the few heroes that can actually keep up with Pugna. As middle lane, Kuro's there, but they do already have a ward place. And the ward vision in this game has been so good for them. With that ward pace, they saw Jakiro come in. Mushi's gonna get gone on.
GA trapping around behind, but bottom lane, oh, they got to sleep into an arrow combination on Matamba
in
Man,
mid.
but dive into mid lane. They are going to be able to finish off that Venomancer, but Ice is looking for revenge.
He's gonna wait for
low.
Miracle.
He's poisoned up, and it looks like he's just going to be caught by the Void. Gets the chains out a little bit deeper, but the Void will manage to secure the kill. Ice. Already starting that tempo control.
Yeah, he was really trying to wait for Miracle in case he was trying to TP, save that Void, but had more than enough damage from the Venomancers.
All that poison.
Gale as at bottom, the tower's gonna go down, and it's actually Mineski that's just setting a blistering pace. A 5-1, 3k gold already without a tower taken. That's gonna change here in a second. Should go to 4.
Radiant's bottom tower has
Jabs.
fallen.
Actually not. Okay, now he's going to headbutt into Matamba Man. Not really the place he wanted to be. Unable to get the cogs on the other side. Matamba Man stuck in. Oh, that was not the Fisher. Jabs is going to be able to get away as a result, but there was also the Night Shadow anyway. Another sleep, and not an arrow. It'll be Night Stalker setting up for this kill on Kuroki.
Yeah, he
And
should go down here,
There's
and he does.
nothing they can do.
What a pace being set right now. They do have a lot more team fight than they did in the previous game against Liquid, where they had like one stun, nothing that went through BKB. They had some difficulties there. This game, a lot more balanced. And this is what I was talking about. Going through the lower bracket, it is more difficult because you have to play more games. There's more opportunities to get knocked out. But at the same time, you learn these things about yourself. You learn where your draft weaknesses are, where people are punishing you.
Another sleep. This Bane Mirana combination, which we have not seen too much of in this patch, previous patches had this as kind of the OP support duo. It is destroying Liquid. It seems like their style of breaking apart quite a bit and playing pretty independent on their cores. It just means there's no saving grace for when the sleep arrow combination comes in.
Yes, but it does remind me sort of EG like 2 years ago, when if you shut down Sumail, there's always Universe and Fear that's going to be farming. If you shut down the other two will take over. That's always the point of concern with Liquid. And it's even there's supports that can come into it. Remember last game they were down 6-0 and they dominated that mid game.
Yeah.
So for Mineski, you've got to keep up the pressure. Continue to play this very tight style of Dota. and try not to make those mid-game mistakes that teams often seem to make against Liquid.
Yeah, it's all the more important, right? You dominate the laning phase, you start getting those extra kills, you've got a huge gold lead. You got a big experienced lead. Even just a few mistakes are going to be all the more costly just because the enemy team gets so much more out of those kills.
Yeah, and it looks like Liquid, they want to go for a smoke. Lifestealer in that
maybe
troll.
running into Mineski's smoke though. Ninja Boogie pops out with a sleep there. Arrow, ooh, intercepted by a creep, but maybe it's good because this is not where they wanted to be. They're going to jump forward, but Matumba Man, he wrapped around with a neutral creep. They're going to be able to get on top of that Venomancer instantly and leap away, but it's Ninja Boogie who's going to be in trouble, caught by the Ice Path as well. They're going to be able to easily get that kill underneath tower. Nothing is going to be stopping Liquid from moving forward. Mind Control, they're actually so low on poison right now. Mind Control is going to take out as well as
she's going to
arrow.
take two.
Jabs has come in. The arrow actually nails Matumba Man with his raged up, but he does manage to get the hook shot onto GH, getting that kill, bouncing back with the cogs on a Miracle. He's dropping lower, lower. Moon trying to finish him off the last couple of right clicks, but a wand and away from vision. Miracle is going to be able to good. Moon leaps forward. He's going to be able to jump, but jump forward.
He's going to get hit.
He's caught by Ninja Boogie. He was laying in wait, and they will be able to TP out. No, the Ice Path actually catches him. He already has to leap on cooldown, but Moonlight Shadow is up. Do they have the damage over time to be able to finish him up? Because they don't have the protection.
It's going to be close.
Barely. No, Fisher. Moon dodges it.
Doesn't have a
TP, but he does have some regen.
In half a second, he's going to try to leap for this. Kuro coming into this. Is he really trying to make this play?
Mind Control is the one to pick up the kill, but at least he bought his team a whole lot more time. As Liquid pretty much 5-manning around that area as a result.
Yeah, in hindsight, he had absolutely nowhere to go. They still knew that he was there. I think they actually utilized the scan for that as well. They just used it recently. As up at top, Mineski gonna smoke again.
Oh, Fiend's Grip on the mid lane. They snuck around with a Bane. Looks like they should be able to just right-click him down. Miracle does have a remnant up, jumps over to the side, gets over to the cliff area.
He's gonna try to get denied. No, Jabs
nice
is there.
Shot from Jabs, and now he's grabbed GH as well, locked inside the cogs. They do have some help. Mind Control's here, trying to go the life drain out, but GH may still die. Echo Slam thrown down, but Jabs gets the kill before he dies. Ice going for Mind Control, trying to kill the enemy off laner. He's got nowhere to run to, nowhere to hide against the Night Stalker at darkness time. 6-13. Mineski, you said a blistering pace is being set, and they are not stopping one iota.
Jabs is playing out of his mind. He has made so much space on the map for Mineski. That play where he stops him from shining, he forces 2 kills, that hook shot right there, so many different engagements where he's the one setting the pace. It's often that you talk about GH being the one doing this, but it's actually Jabs. His 4-position clockwork, making all the room in the world for them is Mushi. He's gonna farm, he's got the Dragon Lance completed. And the entire team on Mineski is doing so well, but it's this clockwork leading the way consistently, making the plays that they need. Look at how many spells they dropped on him. I think they echoed him. They used Macropyre.
Time to get out of there. That is Liquid fully grouped up. Does manage to get the sentry out. Does that sentry see the ward? They're looking on top of the cliffs. It looks like it's barely outside of vision. Ooh, that is unfortunate.
And Mineski, Liquid can't catch any breaks in this game as Moon. He's up top. Illusion gonna get spotted. Matumba Man. Everything that could go wrong right now for Liquid is going wrong as they're all grouped up for this tower. They should just split the map a little bit. Ice indeed gonna do just that. Hand of Midas completed on him. He's gonna put pressure on this bottom tower and tell Liquid, if you don't come for this, you're just gonna lose a lot of space on this map.
Is Moon, is the reason, he knows they're all here, right?
Yes.
Is the reason that he's kind of still poking at them, is he just trying to draw their attention? Just away from bottom lane?
I don't think he thinks he can get bursted, yeah. Plus, if they take this bottom tower and Liquid doesn't respond, then it's worth it even if he does die.
Yeah.
Because if you just look at the team, Mushi had just been farming in the jungle. He can also TP up there.
Looks like they will manage to get that tier 1 tower at the top lane. Now, these two, Moon and Ninja Boogie, they just went through ward vision. And are going to be kind of sandwiched here. Matumba Man is going to look to cut them off here on one side. Starts going on to the Bane. Moonlight Shadow going to be popped out here, and a TP away should be good. Oh, never mind. Fisher, and there's the follow-up from Miracle as well. He's going to be able to buy himself just a bit of time, but they do manage to get that tier 2 in the bottom lane. Liquid have been 5-manning for the last 3 minutes or so, and it is costing them so much map control.
Yeah, they just lost a tier 2 tower to this Night Stalker at bottom lane, and Liquid, somebody needs to carry around Dust or Sentries, because this Mirana ulti is going to start to get a lot more annoying than this. Last game, it was that drop gem that ended up turning things around for them. And Liquid, there's an Invis rune at top. They want to try to make some plays happen, but
Rapping from behind.
the
What a
arrow-
beautiful arrow onto mind control. Already controlling up. The burst damage comes in.
There's
Jabs with a hook
Jabs.
shot. Now Matumba Man is on top of 2 heroes inside the cogs as well with an Echo Slam. It looks like they can get 2-man turnaround. Jabs is going to go down. Try
Miracle's
to
out
retreat,
of
but
mana.
unable to do so. Miracle kind of stuck out here, but Moon is the big damage dealer right now, trying to go from Matumba Man with the help of Mushi.
Trying
But
to
it looks
armlet
like
toggle.
the armlet toggle is going to be good enough, especially with that rage and especially the infest.
And Liquid, they get away scot-free. Miracle had 3 HP at the end of that.
Wow.
Matumba Man wasn't faring much better, but they're going to get out. A very good engagement for them, but still a 5k gold lead exists at 15 minutes.
Look at a dramatic difference in gold. They killed Mind Control, a core, and traded a core themselves as well as the support. Still 1450 gold going the way of Liquid, and a loss there for Mineski.
That just shows you how far ahead Mineski was at one point, and they still are far ahead. That kind of fight, a little bit sloppier than they like. They were engaged under that Earthshaker. They weren't able to burst the Pugna. They get 2-man Echo Slammed.
Not the greatest cogs in the world.
Still
I think he was hoping
perfectly
to be able to zone the Life Stealer out of those cogs.
Yeah.
Ended up sucking him in instead.
Or he was trying to keep him in while the rest of his team was fighting, but
Yeah.
the Night Stalker, when his flying ended, he ended up coming back into it.
Yeah.
Dark structures are fortified.
But as a result, we're going to get some decent damage onto this mid-tier 1 tower, but it looks like Mineski will still have time to defend it.
Radiant's top tower
Without Knight available, Ice. Actually going to find an Arcane Rune, instantly pops the Darkness. Liquid might think that something's up. They're going to back out. They're drawing a circle around that area and taking a ward under, or taking vision under that ward that Mineski placed quite deep. And their wards currently see nothing, so they're a little bit worried right now. Very defensive wards on them.
This that dire side control of Radiant, right? That we're
Yes.
talking about. He was doing that circle, saying, "Hey, this is the danger zone, guys. They're probably in this area." So let's head up to top lane. We'll go into the dire jungle. You said this is the natural response, but how does Mineski punish that then?
Mineski, if you notice, they're not diverting a lot of heroes to that bottom area. They're only diverting one, and Liquid is just presuming that they're there. But as we say that, Ninja
Sleep.
Boogie,
Into an arrow. Just trying to give Ninja Boogie time to be able to escape. Now, Ninja Boogie's thinking about turning here because he does have some allies coming in. Jabs. It's not going to be able to stop that drain, it looks like. Mind Control does manage to get that freebie.
so if you just show one hero at bottom, Ice, and you're shoving in the rest of the lanes, you're farming the jungle, this is how you're going to get really far ahead. And we talked about that 5k gold lead. Well, since then, Liquid's gone to kill, and they're still down a further 3k gold just because of this farming advantage right now. Liquid feel like they have to 5-man. They feel scared at every avenue, no force staffs on them at all. They feel like this clockwork can just kill anybody on the map right now, so they're not willing to risk going alone. They are going to get a tier 2 tower for their troubles, but look at bottom lane. It's getting shoved in. Mid lane being protected by Mushi, who's got quite a lot of levels due to that XP talent now. Almost has a BKB.
Yeah. I feel like we've seen some decent wins here for Liquid in the past minute or so, and yet that net worth chart has not changed. That's kind of like that farm efficiency you're talking about, right? The
Yeah.
fact that Liquid do have to 5-man, even if they do get a kill or two, it's not going to make that much of a difference and advantage for them.
Even when you get that kill, that's what, 200 gold on that Bane. You grab a tower, that's 1,000 gold for everybody on your team total, but Mushi has been farming this triumvirate. The rest of the team has been pushing out lanes, farming, and it's only really a Bane that you lose. He respawns quickly, you can smoke, make a play. They're drawing the arrow up as GH has a Blink Dagger surprisingly quickly.
Yeah, this is a huge swing, right? Now they can punish the Mirana when she's farming so brazenly. They can actually win team fights potentially. But we also have another item that's big.
mid.
Mineski do have a BKB. It looks like they managed to get the initiation up at top lane, but Mushi
got
actually
his
popped the
BKB and a
BKB before they managed to get the initiation, while mid lane is controlled up by the Fiend's Grip. Do they have enough damage to be able to finish off the Ember Spear before he jumps away? They used the hook shot at the last second. Really well played by Jab just to get that extra bit of
And
disable.
Matumba Man is now in trouble.
Dead? He's fled by an arrow. He's gone. He had no rage. He used it at top lane.
And this was a
Trying to kill
BKB Night
Mushi.
Stalker.
They're just going to keep running him down underneath the tier 3 tower. Fortunately, they do have the Decrep fight plus the Shrine. That's going to help
They're
out a
going
lot.
far
Moon
for
trying
this.
to finish him off with the extra bit of magic damage. There's life drain from Mind Control. And Mineski, are they going to be punished for this? A bit of an overextension where Moon's going to take a lot of damage on his way out. Even a little bit more.
Oh, the fire's
going to
gonna burn him.
out. He turned around for the arrow, and that is just enough for them to be able to get the kill. What an overextension by Mineski, a costly one at that.
Still, they lose the Mirana in exchange for the Ember up at top. They drop everything on that Venomancer, only for him to pop his BKB, walk away.
Is under attack.
Very good purchase by Mushi, going for that defensive item, trying not to blow his lead. A BKB completed on the Night Stalker as well. And so Liquid, their team fight, effectively neutered. Almost entirely magic damage right now, as without the stuns, Matama Man, even if he has a lot of physical damage, he can't lock anybody down during the time they're BKB'd, and he's also going to be forced to run.
So at this point, we shouldn't, if we're Mineski, right, we don't want to see these kind of split up engagements too much, right? Don't we would just want to see them kind of 5-man into Liquid and roll over them, since they do have such a big team fight advantage now with these BKBs?
I don't necessarily think so. I think you still have to play a little bit greedy and go for these kinds of plays where they split up, because if you just 5-man, it makes it really obvious what your team is doing, which is why they were able to set up on mid in the first place, right? Because they showed somebody top, they showed a look. If you don't make those kinds of risks, then all that happens is the team outfarms you. If Liquid sees 5 heroes down the lane, they get 1 kill, it doesn't really matter.
Hearing the loudest chant in the stadium since Na'Vi got knocked out. The crowd now fully backing the TI winners, Team Liquid.
Dude, that's some kind of curse, like, Navi's out.
Maybe they're secret Mineski fans.
Seriously.
11-16, 7,000 gold lead for Mineski. And we are going to have pretty much a big group up here in mid lane while they're also pushing in bottom. So they are being still kind of greedy, like you said, Will. They're pushing in 2 lanes pretty aggressively. They're still farming pretty well.
Yes.
But they're now positioned to maybe take an objective here.
Yeah, it looks like the rest of the lanes are shoved in, but Liquid doing what Liquid does best. When you're behind, split the waves, make it difficult. And as weird as it sounds, it's a lot easier to make these plays when you're behind, because you don't really care if you die. You're just shoving in the lanes, trying to create space for somewhere else. And if you do die due to the disadvantage, it's okay. You don't lose that much gold. But if you happen to pick somebody off as a result of shoving in these lanes, then you get a lot of gold.
Yeah. So if you were to say lose a hero at top lane right now, you'd be like, well, it's still fine. I'm delaying the game, basically.
Yes, and that's what Liquid has to do. They've got to delay. I'm not sure for what. Probably for this Ember Spirit to get really farmed. He's going to grab a Linken's first. Really good item against the control that Mineski has so far. Largely single target on their team, if you notice.
But we're still going to have that problem that we discussed in the Na'Vi secret matchup, which is, while we do have a lot of magic damage coming out now for Mineski, they do scale really well later on to this game. Both Venomancer and Mirana have those talents to do so.
Yes, and that's one of the benefits of picking cores like Mirana or this Venomancer, because they get the plus 50 when they hit level 20, so it's not even like they scale out of the game. Instead, they just continue to grow. The 75 damage talent on Venomancer, one of the best in the game. Also has a Blink Dagger now, too.
3-man smoke up for Mineski, and
They're
going to run
showing
into
top.
EH immediately. Now, if they can get the damage, stop this Echo Slam, but it already goes out. They've already lost 1 hero. Ice with the BKBs trying to finish up
He's
GH
taking a lot of
here.
damage,
Here
though.
comes the arrow. He does manage to solidly land on the Ember Spirit. He finally does manage to get the Earthshaker kill, but Jab's going to be gone on as he is finished up by Mind Control, and Ice is unable to get away from this one. What a disaster. Mineski stumble right into the Earthshaker Echo Slam Infest combination, not even requiring that Blink Dagger.
Look at how much gold swings every single time one of these engagements happens. That's a 2,000 gold swing the other way. Mineski still lead heavily, though. You've got to catch your breath.
5,000 experience
Yes.
exchange as well. That's also really important for Liquid, right? Because they're decently experience dependent.
Yeah. Every little bit matters right now, but for Liquid,
Is under attack.
they're starting to feel themselves again, and Mineski, you've got to calm down a little bit. These plays where you show this Venomancer up at top, maybe they're not going to work as much, because Liquid's going to anticipate going for these mini ganks.
They now have a Force Staff for Kuro, an item on the 5 position, and a hard counter to that Clockwork. Beginning to make me worry a little bit about the effectiveness of some of these heroes for Mineski.
If Mineski struggles in a game like this, it's a little bit scary for them, just because they did have such a big lead in terms of game flow. They own the map largely. Their vision has been great this entire time. If you notice, both wards spot when they come out. They even got one deep inside the base. And so all the tools are there for them to win. It's just they need to incorporate things a little bit better. They need their Venomancer to show up for some fights. Mushi trying to get that level 20. But all of the net worth that the Venomancer has accrued hasn't led to any fights for them.
Do you think that this is maybe a difference in idea between the Mineski players, that some of them want to be able to fight and establish a further dominance since they do have such a lead, but Mushi's also sitting there going, look guys, Mirana and Venomancer, we're scaling into physical damage. We can play greedy and continue to just outpace them, basically.
Yeah, and I think they also want to always shove in the lanes. They realize this is going to be important as GH going to pop out.
He's going to be gone on again inside the river. He's gone. This Night Stalker core is just not working out for them now.
And it was all due to this ward right here. They see that coming a mile away. Ice, 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 trying to be cute, sandwich things in. And instead, that's going to be another tier 2 tower taken by Liquid, and a very important one in the mid one. Meanwhile, Mushi pushing out that top tier 2.
Radiant's top tower
And Liquid
is under attack.
actually going high ground here just to force the 2 side lane pushes back to the base. We already had the TP back from Moon on the Mirana. And they're trying to make Mushi come back, but he's going to take that tier 2
He is going to lose
Jesus, they're
a
going to
tier
lose the
3
tier
for
3
this.
for this.
Really feel like he should have gone back and started planting wards, but prioritize that tier 2 instead. Jabs coming from behind, though. This is going to be the big initiation.
They really need to be able to win this fight, and they know that some of these ultimates are
They're actually getting
the Echo
raxed.
Slam. My goodness, what is happening? Where's the initiation? They're just lost to range racks.
Mineski, you've got to fight.
Arrow comes out, they finally make their initiation. Jabs looking to be able to isolate a GH, but is unable to do so before Staff, now Fisher locks him inside of his own clogs, but there's the initiation from Mushi. Gets off a good set of poison that might just be able to finish off a Tumba Man. It gets a lot of damage on the rest of the enemy team. Ember Spear goes for the back line though. Managed to finish up the Bane and goes deeper inside the base. Waiting out and kiting Mushi as much as possible. Now Kuro, he's going to be gobbled up by Moon. Miracle is forced to jump to his spirit in the back line.
Ice,
But
Ice,
Ice looking to be able to snatch him up. Miracle gets another remnant on the other side of that cliff, so if he is pursued, but look at this. He's going to jump over. Ice waited for him. He laid that trap out, let his team pursue, and cleaned up the kill. So it's only GH and Mind Control who managed to escape from that team fight. But what a difference. All of a sudden, we took tier 2, tier 3, and a Rax at mid.
That was definitely not worth the tier 2 up at top. You'd imagine if the Venomancer's there just placing down wards behind the tower, they can't really make that play. But prioritizing taking that tier 2 up at top instead, trying to get some pressure on the map. Didn't actually think that Liquid was going to commit for that GH.
Oh,
Gotta be found.
They had a sentry. GH, he is not the one with the
this is going to be a free Roche now.
That was Kuro earlier, so he has no defense mechanism himself against the Clockwork Cogs. Lifestealer trying to go for this Venomancer.
A little bit of miscommunication as Open Wounds and Decrep are used at the same time. Mineski, they wanted to try to go for that Roshan with the Earthshaker dead. Not willing to commit though.
I mean, if you're Liquid, you could certainly fight that, right? With all the ultimates on cooldown for Mineski.
You can at least spam down.
Yeah.
You can blast from range. You've got an Aether Lens on your Pugna. Your Jakiro can just throw his Macro Pirate down, buy enough time.
Still holding a 6,000 gold lead, I should point out, for Mineski, despite losing so many objectives recently. And is this tactical pause time? That's what it looks like for me.
I got no idea what he just said, but he is saying go. Looks like they just needed a second.
All right.
Matama Man laughing.
Maybe they found out you heard GH in the interview, didn't know about the pauses. Maybe they finally decided to make use of them.
Hey, it's not against the rules.
Nope. Liquid.
Dude, this game is... I thought this game was pretty straightforward, but it seems like no Liquid game is as... I mean, I'd love to see the gold graph at some point. It had to have swung just up and down.
A BKB for the Clockwork. That's a significant upgrade for a support to have. And then we also have an interesting build for Ice. He's really trying to turn himself into a, like he's a core obviously early on, but you always wonder like, what does Night Stalker do as a core later on? Well, he's trying to build damage. He's gone the BKB early, which we saw, but now he's got a Radiance queued up.
Yeah, really nice item against the Ember Spirit, who loathes to build an MKB or any item like that. In general, he's got a lot of evasion stacked up on him.
And it's
He's
not
got a
like
Solar Crest.
he's got high armor, high HP. It's not like he's going to be a hero that's targeted right away, right? So his longevity in a team fight with that constant burn is going to pay out.
Oh, this is going to be quite a big fight. Moon can't get up there though, as Liquid They're up here as 5. Mineski, can you afford to take a 4v5 fight as Miracle going to be the first one found?
Right now, GH is going to make his initiation, but a sleep goes down, helping to save the
two-man
Night Stalker. Now
Cogs?
they've got him inside the Cogs, and they've got the Fiend's Grip as well. Onto the Lifestealer, he's locked in. Here comes an arrow as well. On top of that, he gets nailed. They finish off 1, take mind control as well. The 2-man down for the Cogs now is going to become 4 as they chase Kuro up into the cliffs. You can't hide from the Night Stalker.
Miracle manages to get out, but his team all going down. Now is the big choice. What do you do, Mineski? Do you go for the Roshan or do you try to assault the base? Roshan's going to be their call. Not enough time is Liquid. The upside of being low leveled and behind is you respawn quite quickly.
So Mineski may not have even been able to take real objectives by the time they got to the base. So instead they're going to take that Roshan, see if they can also keep mid from being pushed in.
So well done by the support combo. Jabs getting in there, getting the 2-man Cogs on that Earthshaker and that Lifestealer, setting things up. And that Cogs, it also made it difficult for Liquid to get to that backline where the Bane was just Fiends gripping Matuma Man that entire time, which set up the arrow. Very well done by Mineski.
Now Miracle's build, are we giving up on Lifestealer being the carry for this game? Is Ember Spirit taking over the true physical damage dealer now?
I think they just realized because of the BKBs that have come online so early, he can't really go for that magic damage build. Something like a Maelstrom or a Radiance, it just won't have as much impact. So what's the next best damage item that you can go for? This Battle Fury.
Looks like he's going to be going for the Manta up next.
Yeah, Mineski though, they've played such a good game. They have so many BKBs on themselves now too. They're almost about to get 4. Jab somehow has one. His Hand of Midas paying dividends now later on into this game.
A later BKB for Moon, who hasn't needed one for the most part. Gets it now, fresh 10-second on top of the Dragon Lance and the Diffusal Blade that he already had. So he's putting out some serious damage. If he can get to level 20, which is a significant upgrade for him, and then 25 for the Venomancer, we're talking big-time physical damage for these heroes.
Yeah, I think what they realized in their previous game against Liquid is that they couldn't really team fight. They didn't have that just raw strength, and this time they all opt to go for BKBs. They're like, guys, to beat Liquid, we need to engage them in a team fight. We need to be able to win that fight. Let's all get BKBs, negate most of their damage, make ourselves as strong as possible. Because you're right, I didn't even realize, but Night Stalker also has that 50 damage talent.
Yep.
So they have a lot of artificial beef on them.
So they are all becoming physical damage dealers as well as the initial magic damage they're putting out. And now, what's the quest for Liquid? You just try and like force out these BKB charges and just draw out the game as long as possible until they're all 5 seconds?
You've got to kite as long as you possibly can. Or you've got to be able to start the fight on a core as up
They're
at
gonna be able to
top.
grab him, Cogs push back. And
the silence comes out.
The silence out with the Fiend's Grip. Miracle is caught and down. 70 seconds. That's a lot of time for Mineski to be able to take some map control and do something important with it. We'll see what.
Yeah, in the last 3 minutes, been all Mineski. Looked like for a second Liquid, especially after taking that Rax, things looked a little bit scary, but Mineski immediately righting the ship. Getting some big pickoffs here.
Oh, the leap aggressive. To be able to snatch up that double damage, GH backs himself away, even though he had the infested Lifestealer. A little skittish there for Liquid.
He's got a bottle too. I think they probably go for the high ground now, or at least try to grab this last tier 2 tower, put some more pressure. But Mineski, 10k gold lead, 32 minutes in. All of these Midas is paying off.
Is under attack.
All of these BKBs still fresh enough to win team fights.
You just all about execution, right? You could still get that critical echo slam. We were talking about it upstairs, right? When you have an Earthshaker, it feels like no game is really lost. You can always make that comeback because of the significant team fight contribution he makes.
Yeah, you're never really out of the game with an Earthshaker, but 10, 11k gold lead now. Mineski very strong on all their heroes. With all these BKBs available as well, GH's game, it just gets harder and harder.
Yeah, there is no doubt about it. Liquid, their backs are up against the wall for this game 1.
Yeah. Probably the game that they've been tested the most. Reminiscent, this is an even better version of the game that Mineski had against them in the groups in game number 1, where they were quite ahead, but they didn't really have that team fight to shut the door on Liquid, but this time they do, and they've played a much cleaner mid and late game.
Mineski chilling out here in this off-lane jungle area. Miracle is going to poke his head out at top lane. And Mineski just looking for that one pick that will allow them to go high ground.
Yeah, you still have a DD rune on this Mirana too, very smartly saving it as Okay, the second ward mid should kind of give things up. He placed another fresh Venom ward to try to shove in the lane. That should tell Liquid that something is up. As Kuro getting ready to macro power down that creep wave, stop the push.
It just doesn't really seem like there's a whole lot of good options here for Mineski when it comes to pickoffs.
As we say that at bottom.
Unless they can catch GH here. The Fiend's Grip goes out right before the Force Staff. Stuck inside the trees. Ice. He's going to pop in. There is a little bit of a party surprise, so Ice is going to have to be careful about that one. But Matumba Man instantly rages and TPs out. Ice used a BKB charge, but the big team fighter, Earthshaker down for 40 seconds. Still doesn't feel like enough for Mineski to push high ground with confidence.
They don't really have to push high ground. I think they trust their ability to go late game because of these damage talents.
Yeah.
They feel like they're still scaling very strong, which they are. They've almost got this AC completed on this Night Stalker, and they're just shutting every single door possible as at bottom, Ice tries to go for that kill. Unable to do so.
Ooh, snatched up Kuro there with the slow on Mushi. He does a lot of damage, so this TP may not make it. Yep, gets a proc of lightning. That's enough for Mushi to get the mega kill streak.
And Liquid, known for making these ridiculous comebacks. We saw it in Game 3 of TI Finals. We saw it against Mineski. We saw it against Secret earlier today, but this is starting to snowball way out of control right now.
Shadow. Never mind. Okay, is he trying to force the
race
race to his team? There goes
Here
Hook.
comes Jabs.
Managed to catch mind control in the back line, and the hook through onto Matumba Man. Almost finished him off. It looks like he'll get some damage on the Moon, but finally he will go down. Now that's 2 heroes down for almost a minute. Surely this is the opportunity that Mineski was waiting for.
Yeah, they've got the 50 damage talent on Mirana as well.
And 25 on Venom. Sorry,
Ooh,
did you mention that?
That's even better for them.
Yeah.
The 3x Plague Wards, that's going to help them go high ground very easily. As Ice at bottom, just trying to force a rotation back. Night Stalker not necessary for this push. The Veno, the wards come. Not a really easy way for Liquid to kill these either without Matumba Man. And they've got to be careful not to give up some kills here on top of losing the Rex.
Asleep. Now the Ice Pass slows up the arrow, but finally it does come in. Miracle takes it for him, but Mushi's going to be able to come in, and they might just be able to kill Miracle off of this one. He has the Remnant now. It doesn't go far, though, because he is slowed down. Ice goes in deeper. All 3 Remnants used by Miracle, and he's still barely making it back to the fountain. Healed up at the life drain. It's not enough. They get that kill. Stuck right next to the fountain, though, against Mind Control. He's going to get some free damage on them. But still, 30 seconds for the Earthshaker and Jakiro, and we only just now have our Pugna and our Lifestealer back into it. It's still going to be a 3 versus 5, even if Miracle does go for the buyback. Matumba Man starts going on some of these heroes, goes for Moon up next, but they're all just kiting him around during this Rage Timer. Jab's the only one potentially in trouble here as he tries to make his way back from the tier 4s. Matumba Man waiting out that BKB. It'll be Miracle who slaps it up. A huge win for Mineski, winning the team fight, taking the top lane of Rax, and now shrines are open for them as well.
And it's so hard to get out of those high ground engagements very cleanly. The exit is always the difficult part, but the retreat is successful. All they lose is that clockwork. Level 20 on Jabs, who also has a 50 damage talent, by the way. Forgot about that one.
Oh, yeah.
It's sneaky, but it's there.
It is. You usually don't think about these with these heroes like Night Stalker and Clockwork, because as 4 positions, you don't necessarily always pick them up.
Not necessarily,
and
but
you maybe sometimes don't even get level 20.
In this game, they just do so much damage. And it all started with that cute play at top. They tried to set up the sleep into Fiend's Grip, and Miracle's like, I'll take this arrow for you, no problem.
Yeah.
But it ends up just killing me.
Is that a Scotty almost complete for Venomancer and AC now?
Yep.
Liquid, this feels like one of those desperation times.
Oh, look at the arrow being drawn by Mineski, too. They spot this coming a mile away. They realize nobody's shoving out top. They're even going to scan for this Mineski. They are so on point right now.
Complete read by Mineski. Now Liquid, they're just going to go deeper, right? Maybe they're going to be sloppy. Maybe Mineski are just sitting by their mid-racks. But no, they're sitting all the way back by the fountain. That ward uphill will not be able to see him. Moonlight Shadow even coming out of. They see the ward placed out, so they know exactly what Liquid are up to. But are they going to be able to still win this team fight? Ice moves ahead, easily pops the BKB ahead of the Echo Slam, and now GH's initiation is null, and Matumba Man stuck in a really nasty spot, caught by the Fiend's Grip. On the left-hand side, Kuro already down from both Jabs and Mushi. Only 2 make it out. Mind Control was able to make his TP away. And Miracle survives, but this is looking like the end for Liquid in game number 1.
This is looking really rough right now. If it was any other team, we'd probably say this was guaranteed over, but Liquid, we give them a lot of wiggle room, but in this game, it's been all Mineski. Their team play has been so on point. Ice, 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 just running into every single engagement. Faster fingers on him too. His ability to pop that BKB mid Echo Slam.
And look at Mineski respecting the hell out of Liquid despite 30 seconds still left on the Lifestealer. No Echo Slam, even if the Earthshaker does come back. They are securing this victory. They're going to get the Aegis and Cheese first.
Really smart from them. Who's it go on? The Mirana once again, who has an Orchid now, most likely going to get that Bloodthorn next.
That's just too many things for our Ember Spirit to deal with. Too many silences and lockdown.
Yeah, this game is wildly gone out of hand. It's pretty rare for me to see Night Stalkers also hit level 25.
Yeah.
Minus 8-second crippling fear or 12
Yeah,
armor. Get the armor and the game.
The armor, for sure.
Be a cool guy.
As a support, the crippling fear is amazing.
He got the fear.
Oh, he did? Okay. That's got overlap. You can perma-silence people now.
Oh, sick. As Mineski, here comes their
Bottom tower is under attack.
Their
Trying
death
to deal
push.
with these wards, man.
Never refuse gold given.
All right, Mineski actually backing up as it turns daytime.
Yeah, they're going to reset things. The Rocket barely going to glide over Miracle, revealing his presence, but he's already TP'd out in anticipation for the fight, but it's Mineski that resets things.
Not so fast.
You know, I'm all for not going high ground. I think
Yeah?
it's so difficult to go high ground 5 versus 5 in so many of these situations. I just thought, you know, with a 30,000 gold lead, Mineski would finally take that, but they're still taking their time, controlling the lanes. Maybe they find a pick-off that gives them an even easier opportunity to hit that second lane.
You've got Liquid on the ropes. Secure this win. Shove out your lanes. Make absolute certain that you're going to stomp them.
Look at poking it with the double damage on Mirana, the wards as well.
This is a lot of respect given, though.
Yes, it is. I mean, the fact that they're doing a little chip siege on the tier 3. Mineski do not want to screw this up.
Yep.
And it would be a legendary comeback if Liquid is able to make it happen. I just don't see how. It's going to
30K
take
gold
some
lead.
amazing initiation.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to what goes off first, the BKBs or GH's Echo Slam. Because the Echo is the only thing that can save you at this point.
Yeah. That stun allows to follow up on the ice path and the magic damage that floods in from all sides, right? Jakiro and Pugna both going to be able to get a lot out. Miracle can throw down his Remnant combination on you if you're locked up like that.
Yeah, with the tower down, though, I think Mineski, their Trepidation will fall. They shouldn't be so scared anymore. They're going to grab this Ranger Axe.
Wards.
The Venom Wards
much.
are so good at this.
No, nobody wants to go out and kill those wards because they're kind of in an awkward position, especially with GH wanting to wrap down the south side here.
There it is. All right, Liquid, you get one shot at this. GH preloading up his totem.
Looks like they're not even going to get that opportunity. Mineski are actually retreating just ahead of GH's smoke out.
Mushi,
Maybe
though.
not. They can catch Mushi here. Flick Echo instantly up. No BKB. Jab tries to
they
intercept the
force him
hook drop,
out.
but he actually ends up with a good force staff, and Mushi's away with the BKB. Now the Cogs holding in these heroes. Matumba Man is going to be kited around, but Mushi not feeling comfortable with Miracle still on the loose. They're going to try and get Nana back into this one, and nails an arrow onto Miracle. Oh no, that's a free kill now. Miracle locked down, pops a sleight of fist, trying to dodge something, but he can't get away. Ice, Ice, Ice chase down the Pugna as well. That's 2 cores down, and Liquid, no buybacks on either one of them. This is
Matumba
surely
Man.
no more respect, Mineski. Finish off Matumba Man and end this game.
They know he's in there.
They're
letting the
distancing this creep ahead of the others, so
Nana
they'll
is
die.
so good. He's allowing the creep to run forward. They kill Kuro first.
Matumba Man's just like, no, no, don't die on me, creep. All right, they're just going to focus on the Rax for now.
They don't care. They're like, pop out. See what happens.
Yep. He takes control of it, now pops out. Moon's like, hello, I expected this the whole entire time. Let me give you a leap away. We're all good. We're taking that mid lane of Rax. My allies are taking bottom as well, by the way. Tier 3 gone, and exposed lane of Rax. 60 seconds. Liquid are not calling the GG, but
There's
now
the arrow.
with Matumba Man locked down, surely this is the end. Earthshaker caught in it as well. And that's it. Mineski.
Woo. Unbelievably clean game played by them. 1 or 2 hookups, but you get to get those.